This is The Female Show with Nana Adjoa Sifa. You are watching The Female Show with Nana Adjoa Sifa. This is The Female Show, the show that nails the exceptional stories of females in the agribusiness and food industry. You are watching The Female Show with Nana Adjoa Sifa.
Hello everyone, thank you very much for watching, and I bring you warm greetings from Richmond Media. So if you're in London, you are listening to us live from Richmond Radio, and if you are anywhere in the world, we are live on YouTube, Richmond Media, and live on Facebook. So please share the link. Tell people that we have a wonderful lady and that's going to inspire people. So call everybody to watch. My name is Nana Adjoa Sifa and I am the host of The Female Show. The Female Show is the only show in the world now that milks the exceptional stories of women in the food and agribusiness industry. Now, I am going to introduce my guest to you, but before I do that, let's thank our sponsors. So, OAPay. If you are anywhere in Europe and you want to send money to Nigeria or Ghana, your best bet is OAPay. They have the best rate in town now. You can just pick up your phone right now and start sending your family or friends. And you use the coupon code RICHMO. RICHMO. So RICHMO. And you're going to get £10. Yeah, I can see $10 on the coupon. On the flyer. But you will get 10 solid pounds just because you use RICHMO. How amazing is that? Okay, so if you are sending money to anywhere in Nigeria and in Ghana, kindly use OAPay. All right, thank you very much again for joining us. Now, my amazing lady from Zimbabwe, she is Vimbai. Hi, Vimbai.
Hi, Nana. How are you?
How are you doing?
I am okay. You are like so vivacious and like so full of life. And I think that is a very good attitude because that will make me feel so comfortable and so relaxed for me to just like make this interview or this fire chat just flow because of that energy.
Lovely. Thank you very much. I have seen you all over social media. I have seen you with crocodiles. I'm like, who is this lady with crocodiles? She not scared. So today you're going to tell us all about what you do, your exceptional story. So I'll just leave you to introduce yourself today. I'm not going to introduce you. I usually introduce my guests, but I am leaving you to introduce yourself because I know you are that daring, bold lady. So please introduce yourself. Who is Vimbai?
Vimbai is a 31-year-old female. I am unmarried, so I am still very single, no kids yet. And I'm turning 32 in October. I have been in this business for 8 years now, 6 years for crocodile farming, and then 8 years for poultry, and then basically 4 years or 3.5 years for cattle ranching, and also the same amount of years also for piggery. So I never really envisioned myself being a farmer, but I am a third generation farmer. If I mean a third generation, I mean my grandmother, like my maternal grandmother, like my mother's mother. She was a farmer, a very good one for that matter, in the rural areas. And then my mom who is still alive, is also still a very good farmer. Like last year, they had a community competition that they had, and she's actually the person who took the first prize because she is into crops, and I'm more into animal husbandry as compared to her. So with me now also being a farmer, I become a third generation farmer, like in our family. But it's not what I envisioned for. I actually started towards marketing. I pretty much had these ambitions that I would be working all the time from an office and I would be having a bougie setup, that type of thing. But life happened, and now here I am. I'm always in the mud. I'm always wearing a wetsuit. I'm always wearing the boots. But it pays, and we have to make the difference as women.
Lovely. So you wanted to be in the office. Let me ask you,
Yeah,
why did you start then? Were you looking up to your grandparents or your mother? Why did you start?
no, like what I actually wanted to do wasn't even marketing. I wanted to be a pilot. That's the vision that I had growing up. I always wanted to be a pilot. And then, growing up, circumstances from family or even things that would be happening in your life, how it is. Because I ended up growing up or being raised by a single mom because my parents ended up divorcing and my dad moving on, having a new family, all those things ended up creating a lot of problems for me, even when I was growing up in terms of school and what I wanted to achieve and all that stuff. So eventually, I then ended up settling for marketing based on the subjects that I had passed. So after that, that's when I had the vision that I was going to be in the office. Nana. That this was another vision also. You see, you have all these visions, but then you're failing to achieve them. So I had this thing. I actually worked a number of office jobs after college, but the last straw was when the last place where I was working at, we ended up getting retrenched because things had gone bad. I think even if you remember from way back that there is a time when inflation just shot up and things were just bad, and then unemployment rate, shot up. That was during the time, and I ended up being retrenched. After being retrenched, you have these savings that you have, and I'm like, okay, where do I begin from here? Because I was used to always depending on the job that I had. So after that, that's when I decided, no, let me start doing chickens. Because, growing up, I think when I was primary level, in other countries, it's around elementary level and growing and all that stuff. My mom, being a single mom, she was working a 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. job, and then at the same time she was also doing like a small scale poetry project. So I saw her do that, and she also made it a point that I was supposed to be able to sweep the chicken run. I was supposed to be able to change the food, to change the water. So basically, when I got retrenched, that is now the other option that was there. And also in the past, I had seen my grandmother doing it in the rural areas, but not she would mix. Sometimes she would do road runners, sometimes she would do broilers. So basically, that's the only other option, Nana, that I was now left with, that I knew. That's now the life skill. When we're always talking about you need to have a backup. I had education, but then I had been retrenched. And the education that I had was barely, like it was just minimum. Because I will be very honest with you, I do not have a degree. A lot of people actually have this misconception that I have a degree. I don't. I have diplomas, I have certificates, because I ended up even having that situation where I had to take myself back to school on my own. And sometimes I was working and also going to school at the same time. So now having a situation like that, I am stuck with only going back to doing poetry again. That's when I then ended up starting with chickens after being retrenched. I basically started with a batch of hundreds. And by then, the profits were very, very good. I don't want to lie to you. So I think maybe after 3 months or something, that's when I was able to buy another batch. And over the years, I ended up just having that situation where I was growing them like that. But then 2 years later, after already starting with the chickens, that's when I visited my aunt in Mashingo. Like that's my hometown. That's where I was born and bred, like here in Zimbabwe. So then my cousin goes like, there's actually a guy who keeps crocodiles. Nana, I laughed so hard. I was like, crocodiles? That's crazy. Ain't no one in their right senses who would look after crocodiles. That it doesn't make sense. So, I kept on laughing and I was like, you're lying. And my cousin kept on daring me. He was, I'm telling you, there's a guy who keeps crocodiles, like he's our neighbor. I'm like, you're lying. There's nothing like that. So, we ended up having a bet. And then he took me to our neighbor's house. Getting there, I'm like, what? I'm like actually seeing these big crocodiles and everything and all that. And then he had to drive in this latest car that he had bought. And I was like, wow. And then we ended up having a conversation. I was literally intrigued, by everything, the way he would communicate with the animals and everything. And, when I went back home, I don't want to lie to you, the very first time I said, nah, this guy is unhinged. There is one screw upstairs that is not okay. Something doesn't add up. But then me being me, I became inquisitive. I became curious. I wanted to know. I was like, how is this possible? And then, I started Googling. Then I noticed he's not actually the only person who's doing that. There were quite a number of people who were doing that. But then now the industry is white dominated. Now this is the thing where with us being blacks and everything, there was so much superstition attached to, hey, if you try to do this, you're a witch or what and all that stuff. And even growing up, there were always these tales about how the bile of the crocodile was always slipped in drinks by our elders or ancestors when they had a feud with somebody or something like that. So you realize the crocodile has always been linked to two things: that it is dangerous and it will kill you, and the fact that the bile is used as a poisonous drink or substance that is put in
So basically, the
people's
guy,
drinks.
the guy introduced this crocodile path to you.
Yes. So he ended up, like introducing me to it and actually became my mentor. Like I was in a business partnership with him for 5 good years, Nana. We only had
So tell us
to.
how did this? I'm just interested. When you went there, the first time you went there, you saw these crocodiles. How are you feeling? Because I can just imagine me coming to your farm.
you 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 know what, I will, now that we're talking about it, remind me, I actually need to send you the first two videos of our conversations, because I actually still have those videos, because I took a video of him and I was like, no, there's something wrong with this white man, because this is not normal. The way he was so comfortable, he was even stroking its neck, that day, and I was like, are you okay? It didn't even make sense to me then. But, over time, I think you've seen even from the pictures, now it's me who gets to get into the ponds. I actually chill with them. I actually make it seem like it's normal, but people don't understand
I'm
that there
sorry,
was a
but
time I wouldn't even get it.
my producer will just show us some of your photos of you having fun with these
Yes.
crocodiles. So,
What's with you?
yeah.
You. Hi,
Wow.
everybody. Meet
So is this a real?
this one.
Is this real, like
So
live crocodile?
he is not
That's
in
that,
Ecuador.
that's like if you look closely,
Uh-huh.
before you had to pose it, like the crocodile has got a set of
This one.
eyelids. If you look
Oh,
closely, it actually moved its eye. If you look closely when you're playing it, it actually
he is
removed the
not
other
in a good
look.
mood.
It actually removed the other cover so that it
Wow.
can roll its eye. So yes, but those ones now, their teeth won't really be that sharp during that time, though they are very um they would actually leave a mark on you. Of course, I won't make it seem like they are not dangerous, but then when they are still young, you can try to actually be friendly with them with no issues whatsoever. But then as time goes on and they are now big, I think you've also seen the other pictures where I'll
So
be in the big ones.
how old is this one?
Now
Is
this
this a
one,
baby?
yeah,
Like,
it's still a baby. We actually call them hatchlings, like
oh,
from the period that you incubate the eggs and then you actually hatch them. They become, after they are hatched, they are called hatchlings up to
okay.
a
So let's
year.
look at how the process of hatching, how they are hatched. So the eggs, they also lay eggs like chicken. Wow. Let's see how they do their stuff. A producer will show us that. Well, their
Okay.
eggs. Whoa. My goodness.
And do you know the funny thing about this is the problem with them when they are hatching, the minute one just starts hatching, they all want to come out. So if you make
What?
yes, so if you make a mistake of maybe collecting an egg after a month, because like the collecting the egg collection season, which is like the breeding season, it starts from September to the end of November. So let's say in October, then you take an egg and you put it in a nest that was already there from September. Now, when these ones reach their time, it will end up coming out while it's deformed,
So
because it
how
will
old?
just
How old?
hear the sound.
These are a day old.
Yeah,
How old
this
are
was actually
they?
this was actually, yes, this is a day old, because it was actually the day in question when they were hatching when I was taking that video.
Ooh.
Yes,
So
because what
can
happened?
you take us through? Go ahead.
Can you
Sorry.
what? Oh
Take
no,
us through the.
I was, oh, okay. I was saying, normally the winter season is like the mating season,
Yeah.
right? So then after the mating season, then they start developing the eggs and all that stuff, inside them. And then after that, from September to November, that's when you start collecting the eggs. So like I was explaining about nests, let's take a situation where maybe you've started collecting eggs from September. And then another one of the breeders, the crocodiles, the ones which lay the eggs, the big ones, then it starts laying eggs in October. And then you collect those from October again, and then you mix them from September. Now, when the hatching process starts, these ones, the minute they just hear one of them hatching, they all want to pop out. That is where the problem
Ooh.
is. So the other will end up hatching whilst it's not fully formed, it will be deformed. So like how we go about it when we're doing with chickens, if we say it's 21 days, it has to be 21 days. That's basically what I'm talking about. So now with us, normally when we start the process, that is like end of November, at most they'll start hatching around end of January up to February. So you need to create maybe at most a full cycle of 3 months of the incubation process before they start hatching. If they start hatching while they're 2 months or 2.5 months, sometimes they end up being runs. Those um, hatchlings that come out which are not really, strong or properly formed. You always even have those type of uh, we call deformed cheeks or something, even in chickens.
So
So it
what
will
do you do with
basically,
these deformed crocodiles?
we
What do you?
I'm sorry I have to say this, but then we actually sold them to the big ones, because you see, crocodiles practice cannibalism. That is the bad part of it. So you cannot have the small ones mixed with the big ones, because the big ones will eat the small ones. Like just how lions get to eat their young ones as well. So you should always make sure that you get to separate them. You get to have the bigger ones, they have to be around the bigger ones. And trust me, when you're dealing with the bigger ones, you actually know that that one is the bull and that one is a female. Why? Because that whole thing of territory and everything, you even see it with crocodiles. It will be there. There will always be that one big one that when he wants to get inside the water because he wants his time with whoever, he wants his time with the other ones. The small ones, they get out of the water so that they can give him space. So that whole thing of territory is everywhere, and you have to really be careful on that.
Wow. So what do you do with these? What do you do with this crocodile?
Okay, judging from your questions, it already shows me that you've never had crocodile meat. Do you know how nice crocodile meat is? It's actually,
No.
I'm telling you, you see, so how can I convince you when you're already saying no?
Yeah. So tell. What do you do? What do you do with them?
Oh, okay. So like locally, we focus on the meat, because it's actually a delicacy, and a lot of people, they actually consume the meat. So it's not like we're trying to convert people, because already some have tasted it and they know that it's actually nice. So it makes things easier. Then when it comes to the skins, we export, because that is where the market is. Locally, it's very difficult for me to actually sell locally, or any of the players who are in the crocodile farming industry to actually sell locally. At some point, we only had one company that was able to do that, because they had managed to create a situation where they had all the resources at their disposal. They had a tannery, they had everything that they wanted. But then now, when you are an upcoming um, potential big business, or when you're still a small and medium enterprise and you are basically doing everything, you have to do everything bit by bit. So like when I started this year, I opened my fourth company. And when I opened my fourth company, now the objectives, or the vision, or my mission is to now do value addition. When I'm saying doing value addition, I'm saying, instead of always having a situation where we are exporting raw skins, I should now be in a position where I get to make products, whether they are wallets, they are belts, they are handbags, they are key rings, they are whatever. And that means I have to go through all that process. Like I was saying, there has to be the tanning, and there has to be a slaughterhouse, and then there has to be all those international standards that you have to adhere to, that by the time you actually sell a finished product, you're selling something that is really worth it. Because you realize, even if you go on the internet, most of the products made from crocodile skin are not really cheap. They're a bit steep, depending
So
on.
sorry. Before you even go there, what are some of the
Mhm.
products that are made from crocodile? I don't know, and I'm sure some of my
Okay.
yeah. So do we have?
Um, you even notice, like with okay, I'm going to start from the top and going to the bottom. Let's talk about the skin. You even notice with the designer. like the designer labels that we make noise about. After the show, whoever is listening, you as well, I want you to go online. You actually realize the big brands, they actually make products from crocodile skin. I'm talking of handbags, I'm talking of wallets, I'm talking of belts, and I'm also talking of boots or shoes and all that. So these are the major profitable products that come from crocodile skins. These are the major. But then you also need to appreciate that there is also the fat that is found within the crocodile that certain people actually process it. Because the last time when I reached out to a company that actually sells crocodile oil, it's based in Zambia, who happen to be our neighbors. So you realize there are so many benefits that actually come with having that oil. Some consume it for purposes of their immune system. Some actually believe it has the good effects of for dermatological reasons, like your skin and all that stuff. And you with those companies, or maybe with those countries that have excelled to
So how?
to
What?
to to
Yes, we'll come there. How
mm,
how do you as a person, Vimbai, how do
mhm.
you make money apart from you mentioned exporting the skin, right? How do you make money? So if you just joined us, this is Rich More Media, and it has been interesting since we started. Can you imagine a 31-year-old lady into crocodile farming? Wow. This is an exceptional story, and that is why she is here on the Female Show. The Female Show is the only show in the world now that mails the exceptional stories of females in the food and agribusiness industry. My guest today is Vimbai, who is the CEO of Crocodile. From Zimbabwe, and I am so proud of her. I have been seeing her on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, having fun with her crocodiles, and I am even amazed that she is exporting crocodiles. I mean, the skin of the crocodiles, and also adding value to what she is producing. Um, this is Reach More Media. Please share the link. If you just joined us, we are live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and you are listening to us live on Reach More Radio. Our sponsor today is OAPay. OAPay. If you want to send money to Nigeria and to Ghana, your best bet is OAPay. I use OAPay. All right. So it's not a story. It's not what somebody has told me. This is a personal experience. And I'm telling you that their rates are the best. So pick up your phone now if you want to send money to Nigeria or to Ghana, and use the coupon code RICHMO. RICHMO, and 10 a hooping. Got me get a hooping £10. Woo! All right, so Vimbai, if you are here now, I just want to know how you make money. Money is not the end game, right? But as women, we always focus on impact. Now, I think there should be a balance. We need to focus on impact as well as income. That is my vision for 2023, income and vision. All right. Because if you make all the impact in the world, you need to survive. All right. So you need to be able to monetize what you do. And I am happy that she has found her passion and she's actually monetizing what she can do. If you just join us, we are still having a fireside chat with Vimbai, the amazing lady who has fun with crocodiles in Zimbabwe. Okay, so if you are anywhere near Southern Africa, come on, look for Vimbai in Zimbabwe. All right, so this is the Female Show. We focus on females who have exceptional stories in the food and agribusiness industry. My name is Nana Adjoa, and I am also in the food and agribusiness industry. So when you think about food and agribusiness, it's not only about farming. Somebody called me and said, "So what do you really do? Are you farming?" I said, "No, it's not all about farming, okay? So it's all about the value chain. We farm, yes, of course, we produce food. So if you have eaten, just thank the farmer. All right. We also process, we have marketers in the value chain, we have those supply chain. All right, those who are working in the supply chain. We also have now we have bloggers in the agribusiness industry. So we have writers, journalists who are writing about the food and agribusiness. So it's a big business now. If you are interested or want to be part, you can contact Richmond Media. If you have any agribusiness idea, hey, contact Richmond Media and we'll be happy to work with you. I have initiated a program called Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi, so the internet connectivity Wi-Fi, but ours is WIFAI Wi-Fi. That's Women in Food and Agribusiness Industry. So what we do is to connect women to resources. So resources like capital and commerce, as well as capacity building. So we will not leave you just like that. If you have any career or passion in the industry, we are going to connect you. We're going to build your capacity in the industry. We're going to connect you to capital, and we're also going to connect you to market, which is commerce, of course. We want women in the industry to thrive. We have seen there are so many women in the industry, but most of them are still below the ladder. That is not what we want. Women are powerful, and we ought to be powerful in our pockets. All right. I love women who have money, okay, and who are powerful. So we're still waiting for Vimbai. I mean, sometimes things happen, right? She is in Zimbabwe, and I'm sure she's trying to connect now again. So she will join us soon. But whilst we wait for her, let us show you some of the things she's been doing in Zimbabwe. I love that she always had fun with her crocodiles. Okay, so let's show you some of the videos and some of the things she is doing in Zimbabwe. So in this video, I can see some of the crocodiles. Ooh. Okay. Looks like she's bathing the crocodiles. Wow. If you're watching us, have you seen a crocodile before? Have you come this close? I haven't. Truth is, I can't. I don't want to be. And
Hi, everybody.
this is live. She told us that this is really live.
What's with you? Hi. You. Hi, everybody. Meet this one.
Oh wow.
So he is not in a good mood.
And this is what scares me. Ooh. So this is the hatching process, where they are hatched, so they are a day old, and they're all trying to survive, just like we humans do, trying to survive, right? So they're also trying to survive. Okay. All right. So Vimbai is back to continue her story. And if you just joined us, welcome to the Female Show. Oh, so Hannah is asking, do they bite? I will have to ask her whether they bite or not. So Vimbai is back. And yeah, I think they do. So Abigail said, wow, but I can't do that. I can't do that either. I can't do it. It's very scared of them. Yeah, so if you're from Ghana, I'm sure you know about Paga. So we have crocodiles in Paga. Please go there and check. If you're in Zimbabwe now, you know where to go. You know that you have to go to Vimbai to see some crocodiles. So Hannah is also saying, I was scared when I once saw a crocodile. Oh, so you've been to Paga. And Steve Joe is saying, nice show. So thank you very much for joining us. Vimbai is back. So now,
Um,
Vimbai, somebody wants to know if they bite. Do crocodiles bite?
yes, they actually do. Let me start by apologizing. I'm
That's
using
fine.
my
So
phone.
that's okay. No worries.
Yeah,
Now we are
yes.
just interested in the crocodile story. I mean, it's a happy. Don't worry. Do they bite?
Uh, No, they do, and they are actually very lethal in their attacks. So you realize that apart from me actually being a businesswoman, there are also community initiatives that I actually do. We actually have what we call problem animal control, where I have also managed on some occasions to be present when there are crocodile attacks and there are victims and they need to be attended to and they need to be helped. So you realize one of the major things I've been doing lately, I've been pushing for advocacy on human wildlife conflict. You see, some of the conflict, it comes from a point where as humans we also end up, encroaching into the crocodile's territory. Obviously another person is going to say we are humans, so why should we be honoring what crocodiles want, in the wild? And who says it's their territory? But it is their territory, because you see, if you go into the water, that is the territory of a crocodile, and you don't rule there, you understand? So some of these things, now when we try to give awareness, we are trying to create a situation where sometimes we actually inform people on how they can fight back on crocodiles, because you realize the eyes and the nose and inside the mouth of the crocodile, it doesn't have a tongue, but then it has a gland that is attached to its lower jaw. So if you can try to attack these places that I'm talking about, you might get away, because those are sensitive places for the crocodile. So it's those places where if you try to goggle the eyes, if you try to punch or find some way of hitting the nose, if you also try to find a way, if it has bitten you and maybe your hand is inside its mouth, a way where you can try to grab somewhere, those are sensitive places for it, and it will let you go. And once you do, now you need to find a way to actually get out of the water. That is one of the things. And even when you manage to be rescued, you should not be in a perimeter where it can get out of the water and it can walk and start looking for you. Because as funny as this is, a crocodile will know you best on your scent. That is the reason why you can see that I can get in the ponds and then they cannot attack me and all that stuff, is because they know my scent.
I was
If another
just going to ask
person,
you about that. So I'm happy you have
exactly,
answered. Now, how do you
yeah.
make money? We've seen you having fun with them. How do you make money? If a young
How do
person
I
or a
what?
woman, how do you make money from this? If somebody is watching you and wants to do
Oh,
this to make money, how
oh,
does she
okay.
do
Um, the honest truth that I'm going to tell people is, like, this is not a get rich quick scheme. So it's not a project that is meant for those people who want to see profits and returns as soon as possible. It's not possible. I'll tell you that you only start seeing returns after 2 years. So we're talking of 2 to 3 years, depending on how your finances will be. Because even by the time you then decide you want to start doing the slaughtering, you want to do the salting, you want to do whatever that you want to do, it means money has to be there. And even if you want to, or to eventually start the export process also, it means money also needs to be there. So this is like an investment that you make. And then when the profits really do come out, I don't want to lie to you, the profits are good, because the way we get to sell the skins, it's $9 per inch. And then we have these regulations that we have where we are not permitted to sell skins which are below 2 meters. So it has to be 2 meters plus. And then now you then calculate $9 per inch because we use meters and then you convert the meters to inch and all that. So you realize even if you get a crocodile that is around 2 meters, you're not going to get any money for the whole of it. That would be less than $1,000 per skin, depending on the grade as well. So it's that, and then there is the meat as well. Then it's also the other things that actually come with it. The teeth, you can actually carve them for jewelry. You've probably come across people who have got a neck chain that has got a tooth here, and you don't know, sometimes it's actually a crocodile tooth, because like crocodiles actually have big teeth and all that. So it's a lot of things, and there are a lot of benefits that actually come from a crocodile. It's just not the skin, it's just not the meat, it's just not the teeth. It's a lot of other things. It's also the fat as well. Like I was telling you that I'm pushing to do value addition. I have people who actually buy the fat from me. At some point I was actually approached by the Chinese when they wanted that fat, and to them, they were pushing for what I was telling you about the crocodile oil and everything. So now, if I actually get to push for the value addition that I'm talking about, that, this is like my 2 year plan, this is my 1 year plan, my 5 year plan, that I need to be doing value addition. I'm now talking about more money. Because if we are talking about numbers, it means if I get to slaughter 100,
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Now we are talking about numbers here. We're talking about money. So Vimba is taking us through the process. If you're interested in going that way, so rearing crocodile and processing them, exporting the skins for beauty products, you are at the right place. So Vimbai will take you through. If you need her contact, you can actually contact Richmond Media, and we are sure to give you her contact. If you're an investor watching and you're really interested in investing in crocodiles, Vimbai is here, and I'm sure she'll give you a good return on your money. So, Vimba, if an investor or a partner is watching and is interested in probably investing in your company, what does the person need to do? And also, if somebody wants to buy your products, do you have that capacity? Take us through your company. Let us know about your company, where you're located, the products you're actually selling or making, and then yeah, we'll take it from there.
For the meantime, the volumes that I'm pushing locally are mainly on meat, and then with the skins, I am selling them as raw, because I haven't started the process of making the products. That is what I am trying to push for now,
Right.
especially with the fourth company that I had to open. So the thing is, I have been doing this on my own, Nana. I do not have an
Mm-hmm.
angel investor. I do not have backup from the government. I do not have backup from anybody. And I am happy this is being recorded, so that even if I'm lying, somebody can come in the back and say, no, I gave her money. No, I'm telling you this, Nana. I do not have anybody who's backing me. I'm struggling. I am, conquering. I'm doing all this on my own. That is the truth that I will tell you right now. So you realize that, yes, if an investor wants to come to invest, there are a lot of things that they need to consider. Like how I was telling you, that it's not a get rich quick scheme, right? And if
Mm-hmm.
it's a situation where we are saying, we are going to export or we're going to make products. You know, there are so many laws around this whole thing, and there are so many expenses, there are so many operational costs that will be happening, that they will need to know all those things first. I would need to communicate all those things to them first. And then if they are comfortable after what I would have explained to them, then it's okay, they can invest. Because the problem will come to be that somebody will just come and then they'll invest 100K. After 100K to them, they're expecting after 6 months, Vimbai is supposed to be giving me something. Yet maybe the process for getting the export license might even be delayed to a month and everything. Or if we're going
So
to
I'm
do
sure
it
you have
what I
all these
already.
things ready. You need to be investor ready before
Mm.
they get to you. And I'm sure you are getting all these things done. And so
Yes.
if you're watching us and you are interested in investing in crocodiles, please contact Vimbai. If you contact Richmond Media, definitely we will give you her contact and she will have a chat with you. Then you take it from there. This is the female show. Vimbai, do you have any last words, especially for women who want to go into this or those who want to go into entrepreneurship? Now, we just mentioned one challenge that it is not easy. And I know that starting a business in Africa is the craziest thing one can ever imagine. I know I've been there,
N-
so I
Na,
can
na,
understand
na,
perfectly.
Nana, I live in a country where our policies are I can't say the worst because I'll end up seeming like I'm being unpatriotic. But you know, they wake up, they tell you that, oh, okay, this is money, you know, like this is our money. So and this is going to happen. And then you wake up the next day, you know, the banks will be telling you, oh, you know, that Nostro, that USD, you thought it's USD. Oh, it's not really USD. You know, it's
Okay, so we know it's tough to start or scale your agribusiness or your business in Africa. It's tough everywhere in the world, but just that in some countries policies work, systems work, structures work. But we are just hoping for a better Africa that we can all thrive and build Africa. So, I mean, we are the change makers. If you're watching me and you're African, hey, you ought to be a change maker in your country or on the continent. This is the female show, and this is Nana Adjoa Sifa. So we are bringing the program to a close, and I'm sure you enjoyed it as much as I did. At a point, I couldn't even ask because I was so glued to what she was saying. So thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you will join us again next week. So this show was brought to you by OA Pay. Pay. If you're in Europe, please, and you want to send money to Nigeria and Ghana, kindly use Pay. Okay, and you don't forget to use the coupon code RICHMORE to claim your £10. Yeah, you see $10. If you're in England, you're going to see £10. So please use Pay. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Like I always say, whatever you want to do, just put it your all. Okay, no halfway. Put in your all, and definitely you are going to make it. Just be truthful to yourself and to the people around you, and believe in yourself. Believe also in God if you're a Christian. If you're not a Christian, I mean, it doesn't matter. Just believe in whoever you want to believe. So thank you very much for watching us today, and we really appreciate you. See you same time next week on the Female Show. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube, please do so right now. So Reach More Media on YouTube and Reach More Media on Facebook. Thank you and have a great evening. Bye-bye.
This is the Female Show with Nana Adjoa Sifa. You are watching the Female Show with Nana Adjoa Sifa. This is The Female Show, the show that nails the exceptional stories of females in the agribusiness and food industry. You are watching The Female Show with Nana Adjoa Sifa.